Hi, it's Sean, the Fluency Awesomizer. This is Decoding Multi-Syllabic Words, episode 13. I have 4 words I want to review in this episode, but before we get started, I want you to get ready to read a passage I've written. I want you to read it right out loud to whoever you're there with, and definitely click pause, all right? Put a stop to this show for just a moment. Give yourself enough time to read it. Ready to click pause? Read this right out loud. All right, were any of those words tricky to read? Keep watching. In this episode, I'm going to review these 4 words from the passage and show you some information and some strategies you might want to recall next time you're stuck on these words or words like them when you're reading independently. First, a reminder of the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare, and the moral, slow and steady wins the race, which is great advice when you do get stuck on big, unfamiliar words when you're reading independently. I'll use unfamiliar as an example. You can think of these words as races. There is a finish line, and if you read like the hare, you might want to get to that finish line first. You'll tend to zip through big words like this. Mistakes can easily happen that way, but if you read like the tortoise and you take it slow and steady when you come to these words, that patience is definitely going to help improve your ability to decode them. Keep it in mind. Let's practice. All right, this word starts with thou. And I think it gets a little weird in the middle here. This UA vowel pair, that's unusual. What do you do with that? Well, at the end of this word is the sight word able. So that could be the open syllable lu, able, valu. Oh, valuable. Yeah, valuable. That's an adjective. The root word is value. Value, the trick to this word is the you. That you says you. That's a rule about you. You might overlook. So I like to remember when you says you say value. Keep that in mind. Something to know about the letter U. All right, so value is a noun, you know it regarding money. Also in math, your place value, right? Worth. And a value is a verb too. You might value something. The origin is the ancient Latin word valere, in Latin meaning to be strong or to be of value. All right. And that was the origin of the old French word. Before modern French, there was an old French value, and that's where the U that says you comes from, the old French word, and meant worth, and still does value in English. If we put the suffix able, well, the word able acting as a suffix at the end to get valuable, as in able to have value, there's something a little weird going on. This UEA, those 3 vowels I wrote do not belong together. Right? You just don't see that. So what you do is with that silent E at the end of value, you drop that. So valuable, it's tricky to spell, not to mention read. Valuable. All right. I go to the finish line of this next word, I can see the sight word able we were just talking about. There's label. There's the word veil in the middle. At least it looks like a word. And the AI vowel pair, that's going to be a long A sound, right? That's the rule about AI. And there's something to recall. 2 vowels go walking. The first one does the talking. You hear the A there. So there's a veil. Yes, this is available. It's an adjective, available. And the root word is avail. That's a word. It's a verb. It's also a noun, avail. The origin is the same. We were just talking about this Latin word, valere. That's to be of value in Latin. That's the origin of the word value, right? And valere in Latin was the origin of the Old French. Another Old French word, aveilla, at least part of an Old French word, meaning to be of value. So now we have the English word avail. Right? So we've got 2 words, the same origin, but different words. And avail means to help or benefit. And you know, if you're helpful, you're definitely valuable to somebody. So if you put able at the end of avail as a suffix to make a word that means able to avail, that's a word that means able to help. You're available, right? That makes sense to me. Available. All right, here's an interesting word. Starts with amb. That's a B there. If a hare comes along to this word, it might zip through and see the ending and add an L, right? It's very common for readers like the hare to add an L where there isn't an L, and that might make the hare think this is the word ambulance. This is the word ambiance. Ambiance, that I, you got to keep an eye on those I's. There is an I in the middle of this word. Ambiance, that is a noun. And the I in ambiance is making a long E sound, isn't it? Ambiance. Ambiance. Tricky to spell. The origin is another ancient Latin word ambience. Ambience meaning going around. Got an IE in that word. That's the origin of the French word ambiance with an IA. And not only that, but the S sound at the end is being made with a C followed by a silent E, ambiance. That's a French thing. Ambiance is atmosphere or mood. Like check out the inside of this coffee shop. It's kind of interesting ambiance, atmosphere. It's kind of comforting with all that wood. Compared to this restaurant, well, there's a different atmosphere in this restaurant. It's kind of loud and vibrant. So that's where we get the English word ambiance, and we pronounce it like the French way, ambiance. The thing is, there's another English word, ambience, ambience with an IE, and ambience is easy to see. The Latin word ambience was the origin of that word. It means the same thing, ambience, all right? But the IENCE there at the end, that's a French spelling pattern you need to know for reading and spelling. Of course, you're familiar with it from science, right? The I making a long I sound, science. And also experience, the I is making a long E sound. So that I, those different things with the IENC spelling pattern there. Now in the ambiance, where it's an A, now that's also a French spelling pattern, IANCE, you need to be familiar with. There's the word radiance, the I is making an I, or I'm sorry, an E sound, long E sound, radiance. Then brilliance, where the I kind of makes a Y sound, I think, brilliance. And then of course, here's ambulance, woo, 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 woo. The root word of ambulance is ambulant. That's an adjective. I gotta be honest, I don't use that word hardly ever myself, but it is a word, ambulant. And another root is ambulate. That is a verb. And notice again, the U says you, doesn't it? And remember, when you says you say ambulate, and ambulance. And the root, I'm sorry, the origin of these words is the Latin word ambulare. There's the U that says you, ambulare, meaning to walk. And amble, if you pronounce it the way it looks, amble, that part of the Latin word amble, that is an English word, amble, a synonym for walking. Amble, Scooby-Doo. But ambulare, that part of the Latin word ambulare, was the origin of the French word ambulance, which is basically a walking hospital. It's literally a walking hospital back in the old days before engines and wheels and stuff, a walking hospital, ambulance. And that's where we get the English word ambulance, which today is a mobile hospital, a moving hospital, right? All right, that's it for today's episode. Subscribe to my YouTube channel or follow me on Facebook for more decoding videos like this one. In my Facebook page, there is a photo album full of reading challenges that you can check out and continue practice decoding those big words at home. That would definitely awesomize your fluency. All right, I hope you enjoyed the video and found it helpful. Come back and see me soon. Bye.